Amen, 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 amen. Let's get into recap Lakers, Phoenix Suns, Suns, Phoenix Lakers, Phoenix Suns, Lakers, Lakers, Phoenix Suns. Let's get in straight into it. Lakers obviously lost. A lot of people had the Lakers winning the series. I don't know if I haven't won the series yet, but I did tell a lot of people that the Phoenix Suns are being underestimated by probably a lot of teams in the playoffs, including the Lakers. Now, Lakers played bad all around. LeBron only had 18 points. AD played terrible. I don't know why Andre Drummond is getting all the blame, but they just all played terrible as a unit in general. Meanwhile, the Suns came out ready to play, and you already know the point guard Chris Paul, whatever team he go to get better. Chris Paul, I got an attitude. Chris Paul, like that Chris Paul, whatever team he go to get better, and he had the Suns ready to play. On top of that, Devin Booker came out balling. Now, the real question is, are the Lakers going to figure it out and get rid of the Phoenix Suns? Or is Chris Paul going to lead his Suns over the Fakers? Now, honestly, Chris Paul, before we even really get into the recap, Chris Paul is arguably on top 10, top 15 point guard of all time. You can literally argue he's a top 5 point guard of all time. The only thing he doesn't have is a championship, right? If Chris Paul somehow beats the Lakers this year, you have to move Chris Paul, wherever you have him at, up the rankings. Because Chris Paul gets a lot of flack. There's a lot of drama around him a lot of the times. But every team Chris Paul goes to, they get better. He went to Houston, they got better. He went to the Clippers, they got better. He went to OKC. People didn't even consider OKC a playoff team. He got them to the playoffs. And now with the Suns, he got the Suns to the playoffs, along with Devin Booker, of course. Lakers, on the other hand, they're obviously the 7th seed. But even then, people weren't respecting the Suns, like I said. But my ears itching like a mother. But anyways, Lakers just played bad all around, honestly. LeBron James, he played bad. And they didn't seem really aggressive. In my opinion, to be honest, AD should be on the block. He shouldn't be trying to shoot threes or anything. He just didn't play, like, they just, as a whole, did not play aggressive from what I saw. Meanwhile, Phoenix just came ready to play. Now, we already know Devin Booker is the truth. He's been the truth since he was in college. Now, with the Suns, the only problem I see them having is how injured is Chris Paul. So Chris Paul somehow gets hurt in the playoffs where he's needed the most. He got hurt against the Houston Rockets. Against Golden State. When, honestly, I think if Chris Paul did not get hurt against Golden State, they would have actually beat Golden State and got to the championship. And I'm not the only person to believe that. A lot of people would have believed. I think Chris Paul and James Harden would have beat Golden State. Now, if he hadn't got hurt with the hamstring. I think he had a hamstring injury. Now, I don't want this playoffs to be a repeat of that. Because he obviously had a stinger in his arm or whatever. Something happened to his arm or whatever. And then he came back, which I do like. He came back, he played. He started airballing. He could barely dribble. He did make one luck shot on Kuzma. But I'm glad he came back to the game to give his team the morale, the leadership that they need. Now, I'm hoping he gets better by the time, the next game comes around. Because I don't want to see the Lakers, not play a full healthy Suns. Even though it is the playoffs, injuries happen. But I want to see Chris Paul healthy and see what he can do and if he can beat the Lakers. Because you're going up against, the juggernaut of the Lakers. Not really juggernaut, but like basically two top 5, top 7 players in the game, basically. So I want to see how that go. this was just a quick recap. I have to watch them some more. I think the Lakers are gonna win game 2. Depending on if Chris Paul comes back healthy, I think the Suns has a chance, but I think the Lakers are gonna win game 2 regardless of the situation in general. So that's it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you haven't yet, make sure you get the free workout in the description below. Also, if you want a free trial to my basketball training course, get that in the description below. That's it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. See you next time. Peace.